Men fail because they lack discipline. Christopher was living proof of this. For years, he started things with excitement only to quit when it got tough. He'd join a gym and stop after 2 weeks. He'd talk about building a side business but never followed through. Even in relationships, his lack of consistency created problems. Christopher wasn't dumb. He wasn't lazy. He just didn't have discipline. He lived by his moods instead of his commitments. But when he finally got tired of failing, he decided to master discipline. He built a routine, stuck to it even when it felt uncomfortable, and forced himself to stay consistent. Within months, his results spoke louder than his excuses ever could. His body grew stronger, his finances stabilized, and his confidence rose because he finally became a man of follow-through. He learned what most men never realize. Failure doesn't come from lack of talent, it comes from lack of discipline. This video is titled Men Fail Because They Lack Discipline, and let me tell you, that truth applies to almost every area of your life. Without discipline, your dreams stay dreams. With discipline, those dreams turn into reality. But before we dive into the 5 key points, I want to be clear. Watching videos is a start, but if you're serious about transforming your life, you need accountability and a proven system. That's exactly what my private coaching program provides. If you're ready to stop drifting and finally build the life that you want, hit the first link in the description or the pinned comment below and get started today. Now let's break down the 5 ways lack of discipline causes men to fail and how you can avoid those traps. Point 1. Lack of discipline kills consistency. Every man knows how to start. Few men know how to keep going. And that's why so many men fail. They're consistent only when it's easy. They let their moods decide their actions. One day they're motivated, the next day they're not, and progress dies right there. Discipline is what creates true consistency. It removes emotions from the equation. You don't ask yourself, do I feel like it? You just do it because it needs to be done. And this is the key difference between men who rise and men who stay stuck. Without discipline, you'll always be the guy who starts and stops. You'll live in cycles of motivation followed by failure. That cycle destroys not only just your progress, but also your confidence. Every time you quit, you prove to yourself that you can't be trusted. But when you discipline yourself, consistency becomes your new standard. You follow through even when it's boring, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when you'd rather quit. That's when momentum builds. That's when your goals go from distant ideas to evident outcomes. The truth is, most men fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack consistency, and consistency only comes from discipline. Point 2. Lack of discipline wastes time. Time is the most valuable thing that you have, and most men throw it away without thinking. They waste hours scrolling, watching pointless content, or saying yes to distractions. They convince themselves that they're too busy, yet they accomplish nothing meaningful. That's what happens when you lack discipline. You live in reaction mode. You let life happen to you instead of taking charge. Average men fill their days with comfort and entertainment. Disciplined men use their days to build, and that difference shows up massively over time. Think about it. 2 men have the same 24 hours. One spends his evenings zoning out, the other disciplines himself to train, learn, and build. After a year, the gap between them isn't small. It's a completely different lifestyle. This is why undisciplined men fail. They waste the one resource they can never get back. Discipline protects your time. It forces you to prioritize. It makes you say no to what doesn't matter and yes to what actually will move you forward. If you don't master discipline with your time, failure is guaranteed. But once you do, success is inevitable because every hour starts working in your favor. Point 3. Lack of discipline leads to financial failure. Let's talk money. One of the biggest reasons men fail in life is because they never master discipline with their finances. They make money but spend it carelessly. They live for instant gratification instead of long-term stability. And that lack of control keeps them broke and stressed. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how disciplined you are with what you earn. Plenty of men make good money, but still live paycheck to paycheck because they lack discipline. They can't resist impulse spending. They don't save, they don't invest. Over time, those habits trap them. Discipline changes that. It forces you to budget, track your spending, and stick to a plan. It teaches you to sacrifice now for freedom later. That financial discipline builds security, and security builds confidence. Suddenly, opportunities open up when you're not crushed by debt or desperate for money. Christopher saw this too. Once he became disciplined with his money, his stress decreased. He finally had savings, he paid off debt, and he felt in control of his life. That confidence spread into everything that he did. And let me be direct. If you know finances are holding you back, this is exactly where you need to start. Inside my private coaching program, I help men build financial discipline step by step. If you're ready to break free from money stress and start building wealth, hit the first link in the description or the pinned comment below. This is the one area you cannot afford to ignore. Undisciplined men stay broke. Disciplined men build freedom. Which one will you be? Point 4. Lack of discipline weakens mental toughness. When life gets hard, average men fold. They complain, procrastinate, and let obstacles stop them. That's what happens when you lack discipline. You crumble under pressure. But discipline builds mental toughness. Every time you push yourself to do something you don't want to do, you're training your mind to be resilient. You're proving to yourself that you can handle discomfort and still move forward. Over time, that resistance makes you unshakable. Here's the reality. Most of the problems you face aren't external, they're internal. It's not the challenge itself that defeats you, it's your lack of discipline to push through it. Without discipline, you'll always give up too soon. With discipline, you'll keep grinding until you win. This toughness is rare, and it's exactly why most men fail. They never train their mind through discipline. They look for shortcuts, they avoid discomfort, they settle for easy, and easy always leads to average. If you want to stop failing, you need to toughen your mind, and the only way to do that is through discipline. Point 5. Lack of discipline locks you into mediocrity. At the end of the day, lack of discipline doesn't just cause failure in one area, it traps you in mediocrity across your whole life. Without discipline, your health declines, your finances stay weak, and your relationships suffer, as well as your goals remain unfulfilled. You stay average forever. Discipline is the only way out of that. Once you commit to it, you redefine your identity. At first, it feels forced. You're pushing yourself to wake up early, to train, to budget, and to focus. But eventually, discipline becomes who you are. You no longer have to fight yourself. You simply live as a disciplined man. You're no longer the guy who just talks and never acts. You're the man who follows through. You're the man other people respect, because your results speak for you. This is what separates successful men from the rest. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's discipline. Without it, you fail. With it, you rise. Christopher proved it. Once he embraced discipline, every area of his life improved. And the same will happen for you if you commit. So there you have it, 5 reasons men fail when they lack discipline. They lose consistency, they waste time, they struggle financially, they stay mentally weak, and they get trapped in mediocrity. But you don't have to stay stuck. If you're ready to build a discipline that will transform your body, your money, and your mindset, then join my private coaching program today. Click the first link in the description or the pinned comment below and take action now. Remember, men fail because they lack discipline. Don't let that be your story. Become the man who follows through.